Most of us have something we don't like when we look in the mirror. Maybe one eye is slightly smaller than the other, or we're carrying a little extra weight. We often joke about these physical quirks in public just to mask the private discomfort. But that discomfort is rooted in a harsh reality. Society places a monetary value on appearance, what we call good looking. Attraction is more than a preference. It is a measurable socioeconomic advantage that our brains are biologically. 78. Francis Galton, a controversial professor of eugenics, attempted to map this biological tuning. He believed he could isolate specific facial traits to identify what he called a face of evil. He overlaid portraits of multiple individuals, but the experiment failed to find a monster. Instead, as seen in this top row of composites, blending various faces together created an image that was universally perceived as beautiful. Modern analysis identified specific ratios in these average faces. The horizontal rule shows faces are rated higher when the distance between eyes is 46% of the face's width. Vertically, the ideal distance between eyes and mouth sits at exactly 36% of the height. These ratios are markers. Our brains process facial symmetry as a proxy for genetic health and survival odds. In this light, beauty functions as nature's advertisement for a strong genetic lineage. If attraction was determined solely by a fixed biological equation, the standard for perfection would have remained static for thousands of years. But the historical record tells a different story. During the 15th century Renaissance, the ideal beauty was pale and voluptuous, with women often plucking their hair to achieve an artificially high forehead. By the 1920s in America, that standard was gone, replaced by the bobbed hair and boyish frame of the flapper era. In the present day, we see the standard shift again. In South Korea, for example, the cultural ideal for men has moved towards flawless glass skin and gentle, refined features. These shifts suggest that physical beauty standards are social narratives that change alongside economic and cultural priorities. We are now living in an era where those narratives change faster than ever, driven by digital algorithms that manufacture trends on a weekly basis. This has created a condition known as Snapchat dysmorphia, where people become obsessed with perceived flaws after comparing their real faces to digitally perfected filters. The impact is documented across genders. This graphic shows 60% of men report body dissatisfaction tied directly to social media use. For teenage girls, the numbers are equally stark, with 1 in 3 admitting photo-sharing platforms make body image worse. We are attempting to compete with mathematically impossible, hyper-sculpted digital images that do not exist in the physical world. While biological hardwiring and digital trends are difficult to ignore, there are psychological tools that can influence how others perceive us. This is the Stanford University campus, where researchers found that people who believed they were attractive behaved in ways that fundamentally changed their social outcomes. They were leveraging a bias called the halo effect, where observers unconsciously assume that a person with one positive trait, like attractiveness, must also be intelligent and capable. The study demonstrated that moving with confidence mimics the social signals of physical beauty, triggering that positive assumption in others. By adopting the behaviors of someone who is confident, it is possible to generate the same social feedback loop that the biological formula provides. This type of confidence can be intentionally prompted. At Columbia University, researchers explored this through enclothed cognition. They found that subjects wearing formal or intentional clothing performed better on cognitive tests than those in casual wear. The clothes influenced how the wearers perceived their own capabilities. You can apply this by focusing on physical mechanics, simply standing straight, rolling back the shoulders, and lifting the chin. These signals tell the world you are confident before you say a word. Dressing with intent and adjusting your posture encourages a positive response. That external validation reinforces your initial confidence, creating a feedback loop. The math of facial ratios and the pressure of digital filters are real, but they are not the only factors in play. How you navigate the world is shaped by the signals you choose to send.